Happy New Year, everybody. Welcome back to the channel. It is me, Jordan Young, back with another Certified Hood Classic. I thought it would be a great way to start the new year by giving you guys some of my sneaker trend predictions for 2024. I did this last year and pretty much got them all wrong, and so I'm hoping for a lot more success this year. I should also add right from the get-go that I'm not a trendy person. I'm more likely to be trendy by accident than by purpose. And so you might be wondering, how did I come up with these predictions? Well, in the first instance, I've made some pretty obvious predictions by just making some general observations. I've also had a look at what different brands are looking to bring out this year, and so looking at what certain companies are looking to push is giving me an idea of the types of trends that they are looking to foster. I will also admit that I have cheated a little bit and looked around on social media to see what other creators and other fashionable people, much more fashionable than myself, are saying. And so we'll start off by talking about a few sneaker trends that I think are going to sort of fizzle out this year, and then we'll talk about some sneaker trends that I think are going to trend up or stay trendy. So let's get into it. The first sneaker trend that I think is going to fade out a bit this year is the Adidas Samba. I know this is a little bit of an obvious one, but I wanted to start off with a good, successful prediction. The reason I think the Samba is going to fizzle out this year is it has hit its peak. I actually thought it was going to fall off last year, but it got the sneaker of the year last year by Footwear News. And so having hit its peak, the only way is down now. Now, I'm not saying that nobody's going to be wearing the Sambas. I'm not saying I'm not going to be buying any. I still think there are going to be some pretty awesome collabs to look forward to, including a collaboration with Jound this year, as well as more potential colorways of the very popular 8th Street Samba with Ronnie Fieg. But I just think in terms of a mainstream sneaker, the Samba is going to fall off a little bit this year and maybe be replaced by a similar model from Adidas. Next up, we have another pretty obvious one. It's the Nike Dunk. The Panda Dunk has been the #1 reselling sneaker on pretty much every reselling platform out there, but we're now in a time where you can walk into pretty much any store and you can get a Panda Dunk for retail without any problem at all. Last year was a huge year for the SB Dunks. We had an incredible lineup, and if you wanted to check out my top 10 best Nike SB Dunk collaborations, check out the video above. But the reason I think SB Dunk lows are set for a fall off is because a lot of the releases that we've seen early images of thus far are all pretty average. And a lot of the GR colorways that we've seen are really average as well. I'm not saying every SB Dunk, especially every SB Dunk collab, isn't going to sell out, but I don't think, going off the images that we've seen so far, that it's going to be a big year for SBs. And for you guys out there that actually skate or collect SBs, this is going to be music to your ears. Jordan Retros. It kind of pains me to say this, but it also gives me a little bit of joy to say this as well. Because you see, I am an 80s baby. I love Michael Jordan. As you can see, most of my collection is comprised of Jordans. And so for me, the fact that Jordan Retros are starting to fall off in popularity is a really good thing. And I'm sure a lot of you guys out there will agree with me. But one of the main reasons that I see Jordan Retros in general falling off in terms of mainstream popularity is their price. It can't be denied the price for retros is a little bit out of hand right now, $200 odd for any other retro. And although it is going to be a big year for retros, especially for Jordan 4s with it being the 35th anniversary, I do think a lot of these 4s are going to sit. I think unless it's a collab or the shoe is produced in incredibly small numbers, you are going to be able to find most Jordan 4s sitting this year, which I think is a great thing. Right, let's get into some sneaker trends that I think will be really big in 2024. And I want to start off with this brand here, Uggs. Or UGG. This brand has been coming up over the past 2 or 3 years, and they've gone from being a slipper specialist to like an all areas specialist. Like, these guys are covering the bases not just for women who love Uggs, but also for guys who also want to be comfy and want to be cozy and want to wear some shoes that look cool. And so I see Uggs, especially with shoes like the hybrid Tasmans and some of the boots and some of the sneakers that they have, really popping off this winter, but also going into the spring and summer as well with some of their slip-on shoes. This next one is a little bit of an obvious one, but it's Timberlands. I know some of you guys out there will be thinking, man, I've been on Timberlands since day one, and you, my friend, like me at this point, are accidentally trendy. If you've been on your TikTok or IG Explore recently, you've probably come across a number of different fashion TikTok creators who are making fits with Timberlands specifically. So they are all the rage at the moment. I see this trend, of course, playing out through the winter where Timberlands are especially purposeful, but because they're so easy to wear with a variety of different outfits, I see this trend playing out for the rest of the year. So what about Adidas, if the Samba is gonna fall off, what is gonna take its place? And I think there's two models you could probably point to that are ripe for the replacement. And one, it's a pretty obvious one because it's kind of been riding in on the coattails of the Samba recently. It's the Gazelle. And also you have the Specials. Now, you don't have to point out the obvious to me in the comments. Both the Gazelle and the Special are basically another Adidas low top that look pretty much exactly the same. But in the world of petulant online fashion, it's as much about the name association as anything. And so even though these shoes look identical, I still think there is a place for these Gazelles and Specials in place of the Sambas. I think one of the biggest sneaker trends of 2024 is going to be a continuation of one of the biggest sneaker trends of 2023, and that is the sporty runner. And I think the brand that is right at the top right now with their runners are Asics. We saw them pop off and really come into this space with a bang with the Jound collab on the Gel KO 14 a couple of years ago. We saw them smash it last year with the Gel NYC, with collabs with people like the Gallery Department. I feel like this is a brand that a lot of collaborators are gonna wanna work with. Their runners aren't quite so chunky, they offer a little bit more of a technical feel to them. And with the added comfort, it's a bit of a no-brainer for men and for women. What about Nike? What about Jordans? There's a lot of people out there that wanna look to specific Jordan models as the next big thing. Because we've had a moment with the 1s and because we've had a moment with the 4s, a lot of people out there are pointing to the 3 as the next it Jordan. But the thing is, I don't really think we're gonna get another it Jordan. At least not now anyway, and especially not on the 3. The only Jordans that really do well in terms of instantly selling out or commanding big resale are the collabs. Even if it's a collab, it's got to be a really nice colorway, otherwise people don't want it. Look at Amamanye, for example. And so unless it's a Jordan 1 low in a really hot colorway with a really hot collaborator, like maybe like a Trophy Room or a Travis Scott, or unless the sneaker is being made in incredibly small numbers, I think Jordan Brand's time in the trending sun is over for now. Now, as for Nike, some people are saying that the Air Max 95 could potentially pop off as one of the next it Nikes. And the reason behind that is the influence that the very successful London-based streetwear brand Cortez have had internationally. I'm not sure if I can see this one playing out, to be honest. I think this forecast has probably come from some local lads here in London. But according to what Nike are looking to bring out this year, it looks like they're focusing a lot on outdoor shoes. They have, for example, the Terra Humera coming out again. They have a lot of ACG models. It looks like Nike are really looking to delve into the Gorpcore trend. Me personally, I see one sneaky model from Nike potentially trending up this year, and that is the Spiridon. We've seen a Fragment collab in the pipelines that looks really clean. We've seen the midsole of the Spiridon used on a Cut the Check Travis Scott. And so whilst I think this year is going to be a trending down year for Nike in general, I can see one of the saving graces for them potentially being the Spiridon, but I could be wrong about that. Speaking of the Gorpcore trend, I still think brands like Salomon are going to continue to be popular this year. I also think it's going to be a really big year for smaller brands like Saucony. We saw Saucony jump into the spotlight last year thanks to the collabs with J-Tips on the Grid Azura 2000 and the Grid Shadow 2. And I think a lot of people are attracted to a brand like Saucony because their shoes come out at a really attractive price point, you get really good materials, and they have really nice colorways. So look for Saucony to really trend up this year. I think comfy footwear is very much here to stay. EVA foam shoes, 3D printed shoes are now everywhere. I think Crocs are going to continue to be big. And I think collabs or themed Crocs will continue to be popular this year. I think Birkenstocks are still going to be popular. I also think 3D printed footwear with the likes of Zellerfeld are going to continue to be popular as well this year. And I think meme footwear has also carved out a space for itself inside this niche and will continue to be popular as well with brands like Mischief or Bravest Studios. And so those are some of my trend forecasts for 2024. Let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. I think it is going to be an exciting year of sneakers ahead. Very much looking forward to seeing how it all pans out. And rest assured, I will be here with you guys the entire way, making some videos about it. Don't forget to like the video before you guys take off. Have an awesome day. Happy New Year to you once again. And I'll see you on the next one. Take care for now and peace.